For most of my life, my weekends have sort of been this time to process the consequence of procrastination. It's been the time where I would catch up on things. Right now I'm at a point in my life where I have re-implemented weekends because I do make my own schedule. So it has kind of been a new concept for the last year, learning not to work on weekends and understanding what I kind of need to reset for the week. What makes me feel rejuvenated after my days off? And how can I best honor my needs and take care of myself? So today I want to talk about my journey to learning how to relax, enjoy my weekends, and actually get the most out of them by being unproductive as well. So here are my reset rituals, all with the intention to relax and contribute to my self-care. Let's go. One ritual that I love as I transition into my days off / my weekends is taking a longer walk than usual with my dog. This one doesn't have a time limit, and I like to spend this time in nature, especially when it's this beautiful weather. I just like to sit outside, be curious about what my dog is curious about, and this also helps me have some distance to my daily life and gain some perspective. It gives me time to clear my mind and really be present. I hope that when I move, I can spend these walks exploring my new environment, whether that is the nature around me or even the city.
And by the time the night is through, I will be waking up to you.
Especially showing up for this every single week is so beautiful as a ritual that I recommend to everyone. Something that has kind of been going hand in hand with trying to relax more has been honestly promoting boredom. And what that means to me is spending time not being entertained and being okay with that, being okay with not being highly stimulated, getting used to enjoying quiet times when I'm not getting input. I hope that it helps me feel more present and also find joy in the little things that are beautiful in life. More often than not, I do find the most precious moments when I'm actually here and not when I'm watching videos, for example. And also, a philosophy that I would like to believe, or a way that I would like to live my life, is that I would like to be creating and expressing myself and learning more than I want to be getting input and consuming things. Ways that this can manifest in my weekends is having quiet meals. It's still really difficult for me to eat in silence. I think making sure that you enjoy your food as well and focusing more on cooking meals that taste good enough for me to want to be present with them, that's been a struggle as well, but I'm trying. And then just not walking around with my iPad all day. I would say this kind of encourages me to be more intentional with my consumption and more mindful. And for example, when I am listening to music, fully being present with the music, dancing, or just laying on the ground and listening to songs. I mean, honestly, those are some of my favorite things to do ever. So I just want to make space for that, for mindful consumption. And when I consume, just really enjoy it, whether it is a book, whether it is music, or a YouTube video, fully being present with the video and not only watching when I'm eating on the side or when I'm doing something else? Is the art I consume at a quality where it can be the only thing I focus on and that is enough? I would say it's both. It's like, what quality is the art and how much can I enjoy what's right in front of me? So in this whole practice for me of self-care and listening to my needs, meeting my needs, sexuality is a big topic as well that I feel like people don't talk about enough because there's definitely stigma around it. I find the topic of self-pleasure so beautiful. I think it's very empowering to explore your sexuality, and I feel like every person has their own journey of connecting to themselves and exploring what the sexual side means to them. Perhaps it means not really being interested in it at all, and perhaps it means having very specific approaches and desires. What is very important for me is that I approach consumption of adult films and erotica with the same mindset of being mindful about it. And I feel like especially when it comes to seeking out such content, when it comes to sexuality that is so sacred, it is so important to me and a big wish of mine that people reach for sources that are safe, that are inclusive, and that are mindfully created with their consumers in mind and their consumers' safety and peace and calmness, like feeling of safety. And Cheeks, the sponsor of this video today, is that beautiful and safe place. So Cheeks is a subscription-based wellness platform. They offer sexual content as well as sexual education. And I feel like a big part of, making everyone more comfortable with talking about sex, which it does not have to be a goal of yours, but if it is, if you just want to feel more comfortable with it, empowered with it, and really explore what it could mean for you, I feel like education is the way to go. So besides offering their authentic adult films that, as I said, are created with diversity and inclusivity in mind, they also offer live workshops by experts, as well as a taboo-breaking magazine. With Cheeks, you do have the opportunity to explore these different types of sexual content, whether it's entertainment or education. And one of my favorite mediums of erotica is actually audio stories, which you can also find on Cheeks. I would say this is perhaps something that may interest the people who are generally curious about the spiciness in books and novels. So yeah, you might be interested in that. So with my code Yusuf, you can access Cheeks for free for 7 days if you select the annual subscription option, and you can cancel this anytime throughout the trial or switch to a monthly subscription. So head over to the link in my description box down below, or head over to getcheeks.com to start your free trial. To me, there's a truth about when content is made intentionally and mindfully for someone, you can really feel that energy. And so overall, just curating and being aware of the content I consume in all facets, I would say, enriches the quality of my life and again promotes calmness and affirms that I really deserve just to experience the best, and that I also deserve this relaxation, and that there is safe and beautiful content out there that is made to help me feel this way. Another beautiful practice that I have more time for during the weekends is journaling, as well as creating affirmations, and I like to do this while I drink my coffee.
When I finish watering the plants, I want to water them again.
Speaking of affirming beliefs that I would like to use as guides for my thoughts, as well as beliefs that I would like to step into and towards. In my journaling practice recently, I have been ending each entry with affirmations that really summarize what I want to take away from my reflections and my writings in my journal.
We played cards on the floor.
Here are maybe 3 affirmations that I wrote down today. So, I align my actions to support my lightest and warmest life. I love creating my content. I completely trust my abilities to take care of myself, protect myself, and wholly love myself. So, recently, I heard about this text by Jamie Varon. I hope you live your freest life, your most unburdened life, and your lightest life. That just feels so good. And I think one aspect about affirmations that's very important is that they help you think thoughts that feel good to you. And so it's also a practice of intuition as well, you know. With that as the basis, create affirmations that empower that and support that. So, I still have my coffee here. I think I'm filming a night routine this month as well, and I'm excited to talk about how I use affirmations in my journaling before bed. But this was like my morning journaling session, which doesn't happen every day, but I just love taking my time for it. And on weekends, I feel like there's just more time for it. So yeah, I love this. Also, y'all, my journal is almost full. I have like 1.5 pages left. So I'm also going to be doing more videos on journaling. So that was it. One thing that I have been trying to implement better are boundaries around my time. So when people ask me or invite me to things, I used to just say I'm free on the weekends because that is true. But these days, I prioritize time with myself and kind of reserve that for the weekends because that is when I am not working. And one thing that I've been keeping in mind that has kind of helped me is setting no as a default. And this not just when people ask me to hang out or whatever during the weekends, just in general, you know. I think as someone who has lived their lifetime trying to please people and not make people feel uncomfortable, and kind of associating saying no or declining things as making people uncomfortable, it's been a change, you know, but it feels really good to be able to say no. And I guess that kind of flows over into me protecting my time and really creating space for me, especially for me as an introvert, to recharge and rejuvenate, to make space and time for these rituals and create this container for me to be able to say, I have all of this time to just relax. I have all of this time to implement my rituals. And so in a social aspect, I do still try to nourish my relationships and maintain connections. I just prioritize myself first because when I do not feel recharged, I cannot show up authentically and show up with the love I have to give, you know. So that has been the basis for me to hone these rituals and make time for them. I feel like they are important, just as important as I said, connections with other people. I just think it's great to affirm that you deserve personal attention from yourself and a spot in your schedule as well, especially if you find yourself sometimes putting yourself in the back seat and perhaps giving more than you have, it's really important to make sure that your cup is full. So let's continue talking about how I fill mine. I used to do a lot more bullet journaling, and there was this aspect about it that was just kind of ritualistic, where you are present, you're not connected to your electronic devices, and it would just be this practice that is similar to journaling but would also encapsulate organizing your time, managing your life. And since I have moved that system, so to say, over to Notion, I've been using this template that I made. And if you're interested in that template, it is linked down below for free. And also for this template, I made some illustrations that you can buy. And let me just say, the March illustration is my favorite. It's just vibes. It's legit this weather right now. It's wet outside, but the flowers are blooming. I feel like it captures March really well. So I just want to say it's one of my favorite months. A good time to mention that I'm selling these covers. So even though I'm doing everything digitally these days, I feel like with my template as well as with the art, I feel like it really reminds me of bullet journaling and just a simple setup. So on a weekly basis, I like to sit down and take about 10 minutes to just get a good overview of the week. So I like to fill in my focus this week section, and in there go appointments, deadlines, and important events. In this template as well, I can see my monthly goals, and I feel like that just helps me reconnect with the intentions I've set for the month and the direction that I am going, what I like to focus on energetically, and where I would like to be at the end of the month. I would say with this part of my weekend reset, where I organize my life a bit and get a good overview of what's to come, I feel a lot more ready to take on the week as well. Feeling like I can do this, feeling like the upcoming week is going to be great because I put forth that intention, because I spent time feeling good about my week, and especially because I spent time rejuvenating and recharging throughout the weekend, practicing self-care and making sure that my needs are met, protecting my time, and creating time for me to reset in this way. That being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you some insight into how I, as an introvert, and I, as a sensitive person, like to recharge. If you're interested in checking out Cheeks, remember that I have a link down below as well as a code, which is Yusuf. So I hope to see you around. I'm excited for my new chapter that's incoming right now. I'm in the mess of moving. You can't really see it, but I will definitely see you around. And until then, peace.